Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hit that like subscribe button and let's get into it. You know, when people ask me about the story of GT Digital and Goldtoes, I always tell them this isn't just a tale about music. This is a tale about hustle, about community, about how a kid with a dream, a little grit, and a whole lot of vision could build bridges that no one else ever dared to imagine. Because, you see, Goldtoes didn't just wake up one morning and find himself surrounded by some of the biggest names in hip hop and Latin rap. Nah, he carved a lane and then he invited everyone else to ride with him. That's what makes his story different. That's what makes GT Digital different. Picture the Bay Area in the mid 2000s. Hyphy was bubbling. Energy was electric. The streets were alive with sound systems, lowriders scraping and anthems that could just shake a block to its core. But while the world was tuning in to the likes of E40, Too Short, and Mac Dre, there was another movement rising, a Latin-driven wave, fueled by voices that weren't always given a seat at the table. That's where Goldtoes stepped in. He wasn't content with just rapping himself. He was a connector, a talent scout, a man with an ear to the pavement who knew that some of the hungriest, rawest talents was right there in his community. So he launched Thiz Nation Volume 14. And just like that, he gave a platform to the names that might otherwise have never broken through. Remy, Little Connor, Freddie Chingas, Lexo, Baby Boss, Eruptions. They weren't mainstream radio names. There were local legends in the making. And Goldtoes knew that if you put them on the right record in front of the right audience, you strike gold. And that's exactly what he did. Fast forward a bit, you see Goldtoes pop up on tracks with that Chico Chot, GT Garza, Gutta Kings. He's linking Houston with San Francisco, San Jose with LA, Dallas with Oakland. He's creating this pipeline of sound that didn't respect state borders or industry politics. It was bigger than that. By the time 2023 rolled around, you've got Mary Jane with Yance and Gato Mas Loco, a track that hit different because it blended smooth Latin vibes with hard-hitting Bay Area production. And if that wasn't enough, Goldtoes pulls out a move that made the whole game stop and watch. Bay Area flavors. Imagine a record with Too Short, Burner, J Diggs, and Jenny 69 all under the banner of Goldtoes Presents. That's not just a future list. That's a statement. That's Goldtoes saying, we're not here to be background noise. We're here to lead the conversation. And it didn't stop there. Benny Blanco from the Bay dropped Swag Dripping with Goldtoes and Dirty D. Another moment that shows you this man has no ceiling when it comes to collaborations. Now, let me pause for a second because here's the thing. If you list the names Too Short, Burner, J Diggs, Jenny 69, GT Garza, Little Raider, Freddie Chingas, and dozens more, it sounds impressive. But it's not the names that makes this story legendary. It's the why. Why do these artists, some already stars in their own right, choose to align with Goldtoes? Why does GT Digital have the kind of pull that can make a collaboration happen with just one phone call? The answer is trust, respect, authenticity. See, the music industry is filled with people who promise the world and deliver dust. But Goldtoes built GT Digital differently. He built it on relationships, on making sure artists got paid, got heard, and got treated like family. And once you do that, once you show artists you're not just a businessman, but a brother, a partner, a believer, they'll ride with you forever. And that's why GT Digital became a magnet for talent, because it wasn't just about dropping tracks. It was about building legacy. Now, let's lean into that because this is the part that makes GT Digital one of the most successful independent movements in the game. Think about it. GT Digital operates in an industry dominated by giants, labels with billions-dollar budgets, entire marketing machines, and global distribution networks. And yet, Goldtoes carved out a lane so powerful, so authentic, that he didn't need $1 billion. He needed a vision. He needed the streets. He needed people who believed. And that's exactly what he had. GT Digital became more than a label. It became a movement, a cultural hub, a lighthouse for Latin rap, Bay Area rap, and independent artists who didn't fit the cookie cutter molds of mainstream labels. Goldtoes knew how to play the long game. While others were chasing quick hits, he was building catalogs. He was putting artists in position to own their music, to build their fan bases, to eat. That's power. That's sustainability. And let's not forget, this is a man who could get too short on a record while also breaking an underground name like Freddie Chingas or Little Raider. You know what I mean? That's rare. Most people either chase the stars or stay local. Goldtoes did both seamlessly. And of course, you can't forget Roundtable, one of my favorite songs. With Goldtoes, Mac Mall, Be Legit, and Yuck Mouth. Come on, man. So, when you ask me why GT Digital is one of the most successful in the game, the answer is simple: because it's real, because it's rooted in culture, in authenticity, and in the streets that birthed this music, because it gave a voice to the voiceless and a platform to the overlooked. And here's the truth: GT Digital isn't done, not even close. The network is bigger than ever. The collaborations keep stacking, and the legend of Goldtoes is still being written, one track at a time. So the next time you hear a Goldtoes record, whether it's a smooth Latin joint, a Bay Area anthem, or a coast-to-coast collaboration, I want you to remember this: you're not just hearing music, you're hearing the sound of a movement, the sound of someone who bet on himself, on his community, and on a vision the world couldn't see until he made it undeniable. And that is why Goldtoes, GT Digital are at the very top of the game. Hit that like, subscribe button. Shout out to GT Digital, baby.
Yeah. It's that bass shit, homie. Go grill, gleaming, scraper swerving. From the mission to the O, you know how we rockin'. GT Digital in the building. Let's go. From the bay to the bank, we don't play, we don't break. Keep it lit, gas heavy, real ones, no fake. Slide through the city with the chop in the trunk. Better duck when it bang, we don't funk, we dump. From the bay to the bank, we don't play, we don't break. Hustle hard every day, stack the chips, no mistakes. Scraper paint dripping while the speakers go dumb. Whole block know the vibe, Bay Area where I'm from. Hey, riding dirty through the town with a hand on the pole. Gotta watch for the ops and the snakes on the stroll. On the mission with my killers, got them tacos and straps. From the O down to EPA, they respect where I'm at. Happy never die, we just flip to the ground. Gas pedal to the floor, middle finger to the swine. Mac Dre in my ear telling me to stay lit. Real mob ties, we don't talk, we don't know snitch. Kelly smoke in the wood, got me high like a jet. Still posted on the block where the pavement stay wet. Stacking chips like casinos, keep the fam all fed. And if you talking disrespect, we gon' paint the whole red. From the bay to the bank, we don't play, we don't break. Keep it lit, gas heavy, real ones, no fake. Slide through the city with the chop in the trunk. Better duck when it bang, we don't funk, we dump. From the bay to the bank, we don't play, we don't break. Hustle hard every day, stack the chips, no mistakes. Scraper paint dripping while the speakers go dumb. Whole block know the vibe, Bay Area where I'm from. Big body Chevy sitting clean on the blades. I'm a product of the struggle, made a boss out the pain. In the 415, you either hustle or starve. So I learned to flip a brick, turn an ounce to a car. Got my foot on they necks, ain't no letting up now. Independent with the power, make the majors sit down. Burner taught me how to stack, too sure how to game. Goldtoes, show division, now they all know the name. From the set to the V, every corner show love, but don't get it twisted, it get wicked where I'm from. Lil Raider on the line, Freddie Chingas in the cut. GT Digital, the label boy, the hustle too much. We don't chase trends, we set them. We don't follow waves, we make them. And if you stepping in our section, you better come correct, homie. Yeah, from the bay to the bank, we don't play, we don't break. Keep it lit, gas heavy, real ones, no fake. Slide through the city with the chop in the trunk. Better duck when it bang, we don't funk, we dump. From the bay to the bank, we don't play, we don't break. Hustle hard, 8 days, stack the chips, no mistakes. Scraper paint dripping while the speakers go dumb. Whole block know the vibe, Bay Area where I'm from. Yeah, Bay stand up. Oakland, San Joe, Frisco, Vallejo. GT Digital, baby. We running this West Coast shit. Rest in peace, Mac Dre. Yeah.